Consegui arrumar a tempo. Quase em cima da hora. Deixa eu arrumar os links lá. Mandei os links. Pra galera tava meio errado, né? Dá uma arrumada aí. Galera, me dá um feedback do áudio. A altura do áudio, né? Se tá muito alto, muito baixo. Meu áudio, o áudio do desktop. Vou corrigir os links que eu mandei pra galera. YouTube, né? Eu fico muito tempo sem transmitir por YouTube. Aí quando eu abro as configurações tá tudo mudada, cara. Aí é mó briga. Mas já estamos tudo normalizado. Tudo normalizado agora, certo? Meu áudio está baixo. Ah, tá top. Então tá bom. Agora eu vou corrigir em todos os lugares aqui que eu mandei. Que dá tempo. Temos 50 segundos ainda. E aí, como é que tá a expectativa? Ah, se você tá vendo esse vídeo depois, saiba que eu estou fazendo a retransmissão ao vivo da Warriors Den. Live review do novo personagem de For Honor. Ah, claro, se você tá vendo isso aqui depois, você não precisa esperar esse tempo aí. É só você correr, né? E adiantar o vídeo. Corrigindo os links aqui, porque eu tive um problema na minha primeira transmissão. Mas agora tá tudo certo. Vamos lá. Olha o trailer aí. Ah não, não é o trailer. Esse aí é aquele trailer genérico que sempre tem, né? Galera, deixa o like aí, ajuda meu trabalho, hein? Por favor. E quem não tá vendo ao vivo, clica aí ao vivo. Tem ali embaixo ali, um negocinho pra clicar ao vivo. Então olha o navio pirata aí, hein? Meu chute era um pirata chinês. Vamos ver.
Welcome, Warriors, and Happy New Year! How are you, Josh?
Happy freaking New Year, Lawrence. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so excited to do this hero reveal stream.
First den of the year. We're starting off strong. Let's go. Let's get into it.
This is amazing. Thank you everyone so much for being here. We're back. We had an amazing TU1.
Falando primeiro dos updates
Look
do
at all the
jogo.
stuff we did. We did the Frostwind celebration. We had an amazing battle pass. That testing ground changes. We had Dominion series stuff. And
Eles vão falar
very importantly,
passo a passo, vou deixar eles falarem e vou falar meio que em cima.
Love using that emote. I love just hanging out on the battlefield.
Evento dia 9.
Nothing beats a good
já
battlefield,
tivemos.
like
Isso
a
aqui já
nice
tivemos tudo.
little relaxation
Já
time.
estamos aqui, né?
Sometimes you just gotta take a minute off.
Então vamos ter o lançamento do novo Herói daqui uma semana. Variações de armadura. E é isso, lançamento de variações de
I'm very
armadura.
excited.
Isso aqui já passou.
It's gonna be a massive.
It's gonna be a big day. It's gonna be a big day.
Fevereiro vai ter campeonato.
Josh, you want to talk a little about the
evento. É o novo personagem. Basicamente, novo personagem e novas armaduras. Vamos ver aí. Isso aí é pra quem tá assistindo pela Twitch, tá? Pra ganhar os... se você tiver a sua conta vinculada na Twitch... Esse cara fala muito na orelha. Se você tiver a sua conta vinculada com o seu perfil, o seu login na Twitch, é só assistir a transmissão deles, não a minha. Assiste as duas, vai. Pra você ganhar aí, nossa, uma caixa a cada 30 minutos que você assistir. Será sorteado 10 mil de aço. Já teve amigo nosso aqui que já ganhou esses 10 mil. 100 mil, desculpa. 100 mil. Tá? E... top 10 streamers, olha aí, os 10 maiores streamers vão ganhar 100 mil de aço também. Será que eu entro? Sei não, hein?
it'll be yours to do whatever you want to with it. Also, if you are going to be watching some
Isso daqui é para todo mundo que assistir qualquer live na Twitch, que no caso é a minha, que vocês vão assistir. Se você vê uma live durante 1 hora, você ganha um XP bônus. Se você vê 4 horas de live, você ganha um XP bônus e uma caixa. Se você vê 8 horas, você ganha XP bônus mais uma caixa. E assim progressivamente aqueles bônus ali. Ou seja, é só você assistir loucamente a live do lenhador que você vai ganhar todos esses prêmios. E assistam twitch.tv/lenhador gameplay. Vocês percebem que eu não faço mais live no YouTube, só lá na Twitch agora, tá?
Giphy page for Honor. We have many hundreds plural of gifts that we have been working on over the course of the past few months. Major shout out to Callum Mark and Brian Dixon from the community team for helping put these together. A lot of hours went into creating these. Again, hundreds of gifts for you to use. We will be sure to post the link to the Giphy page once it launches soon. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And peruse through the list of gifts and all that fun stuff because
que é isso? Emote criado pela comunidade, aquilo?
They're really cool, honestly. I'm really excited to see the fruition of all this because it looks so good. Major shout out. One other thing I wanted to touch on real quick is the skill challenge series that we have going on with Marco Yolo. This is our 0 to Hero workout to help you improve skills that maybe you need to shore up on. You can jump around, check them all out over at our YouTube at youtube.com/Ubisoft Game Plan to kind of, work through what we've got going on there. It's a really useful tool in your arsenal. Feel free to hop on over and check that out. But now, got something really exciting to show you guys. This amazing bit of artwork. A thousand hours went into this, thanks to our Leverity. It was a collaborative work, but I mean,
this looks insane. Like the fact that I can't draw stick figures and there are individuals out there that can do stuff like this.
This is so cool.
Nossa, que arte
very
linda, hein?
jealous. Like look at just. I couldn't even do like a portion of this. I'm very in awe of this entire piece. Again, just a ridiculous amount of hours and detail into each hero, to every aspect of this artwork. I'm very, very impressed. So definitely.
Não tinha visto essa imagem até agora.
Like
seriously, vou ver se eu consigo
big ol' shout out
disponibilizar ela
to
para
everyone
vocês
involved
aí.
in this, and big ol' shout out to our Leverity for coordinating and putting this all together. I mean, just super cool. Oh, I love it. But we know why you're here. Who is the new hero?
It's not a Viking nor a samurai.
Maybe. We're going to talk a little about the TU2
Não é
and more
Viking
coming
nem
up here with
samurai.
Jan and Nico. So we'll see you guys in a minute.
Vamos lá, galera. Vamos ver. Será que a gente acertou nas nossas análises?
Welcome back, Warriors, and a big welcome to Nico and Jan for being here today. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing just fine. Thank you very much for asking. Super stoked to get into what we have to talk about today. We got a little sneak peek for what's to come. Nico, dive into it. Tell us what's going on, man.
So yeah, big announcements today, right? And obviously the first big thing that we want to talk about is our new hero, our second new hero this year. The pirate, everybody has guessed it by now, I suppose, coming in those great ships. The one thing though that still remains to be revealed is what faction this pirate is going to be a part of. And surprise, surprise, she's not going to be a knight, a samurai, a Wulin, or a Viking. Instead,
não é Wulin.
She's an outlander.
Ele é um cara de outra região.
É
uma nova facção, olha aí.
Going to set things in motion for year 6. And yes, For Honor is coming back for year 6 with, new content, new journey.
Olha aí,
a lot of
anunciado
things,
ano
and we're
6.
super
Mais um
excited,
ano de
super
For
stoked
Honor,
about
galera.
this year 6 because
Uhul!
the Outlanders are going to be a huge element for us to sort of
Ou
expand the world of
seja,
Heathmore.
eles vão
They're coming from
expandir o
beyond the land that
universo de
we've been
For Honor,
traditionally
cara, com
exploring, and so
invasores
we're
de
going to be
fora.
using those
Olha só.
Outlanders to
Cara,
explore
isso é
different cultures,
surpreendente, velho.
stronger themes,
Ninguém
much more
esperava isso,
variety
cara.
in terms of lore and assets that we bring to you guys.
Absolutely awesome. I love the logo for the
Surpreendente,
Outlanders.
hein?
And
Isn't that cool?
and I guess Jan, for you, let's go ahead and get into the narrative.
Cara, fiquei
aspect of
empolgado.
the Outlanders. Who are they? Why are
Fiquei
they here?
hypado
All that
agora.
stuff.
Right. Well, first of all,
Que isso
thank you for
expande
for
muito os
having me. It's my
horizontes.
first time being here. I'm glad to be part of it. In the last season, Frozen Shores, we teased the arrival of a new hero who came aboard this big ship with red sails, and everybody was wondering who it was and what was going to happen. And now, finally, the new hero stepping off the boat deck, and they're coming to Heathmore. So, who are they? As Nico said, they're not Viking, they're not Woolen, they're not Knight or Samurai. They're the first of this new group we call the Outlanders. And the Outlanders, well, they're free adventurers and explorers. They're not a faction per se,
Não são uma
but more of a
facção.
group of warriors from different
São os
backgrounds
caras
and cultures.
diferentes, de culturas
The first
diferentes.
hero of the group is the pirate, and as players will see, she's not interested in covenants or factions or any of that. What a pirate wants above all else is riches. Well, there's rum also, but that's besides the point.
Ele não tá interessado nas
The
batalhas de
quest,
facção,
they're going
no
on a quest
Horcus,
for treasure,
Quimera.
basically, and this
Ele só é
quest
um
for treasure,
mercenário.
it leads to the unveiling of ancient relics, and that's what's going to set year 6 in motion. It's going to unveil the secret past of Heathmore, and really it's going to unveil the
E esse
Heathmore's
vai ser a
lost
pegada do
horizons.
novo ano, do ano 6 de For Honor.
That
Honor,
description
Lost
sends
Horizons.
shivers down my spine. I'm very excited.
Cara, que
for,
legal.
I'm very excited for the.
Os caras
the
saíram
Outlanders.
assim, tipo,
But Nico, let's go ahead and kick it back to you and kind of start talking about the
soltaram. Pode
content
vir
of year
qualquer
6
herói
and, like,
agora,
what
de
are some
qualquer
things that our
lugar, tá
players can
ligado?
expect once the season starts rolling up?
Sure. So to us, the big new element that we're bringing in year 6 is going to be hero skins. What are hero skins? Well, they're a brand new customization element for traditional heroes. Think about these as brand new, ready-to-wear skins that will explore different kinds of identities for the traditional heroes you've grown,
A
familiar
nova
with.
forma de personalização. ele tá
These
falando aqui.
skins, we are planning to bring one per season. They're going to be, each season one skin for one hero. So, it's going to be something that we'll be building over time. And stay tuned to know which hero will get what kind of skin as we go along, the journey of year 6. On top of all of these cool skins, you can expect also a lot of new gameplay updates. The game is still, very unique. For Honor is this very unique combat game in the industry. So our commitment to maintaining and improving that experience is going to be driving us forward in year 6. So you can expect testing grounds coming in again every season to bring in different core gameplay updates, balancing updates. On top of that,
Então, de
on the event front,
atualizações.
the Covenant games are going to coming back. Throwback events also, along with new surprises that we'll be announcing as we go. And finally, two new heroes. Two new heroes
Dois
in year
novos
6.
heróis para
But
ano novo.
as we said, we're bringing the Outlanders along. We're going to need to grow their ranks. So these two new heroes are not going to be from traditional factions. They're going to be Outlanders. And this is how we're going to be increasing the diversity on our roster, explore different cultures and fight styles to really bring and expand the world of For Honor in year 6. So that's what you can expect in year 6 Lost
Quanta
Horizons.
coisa boa, hein?
Thank you
Vamos
for
ver a
all that
execução, né? A
amazing
promessa
information,
tá
Nico
ótima.
and Ian, and thank you for being here on
Quero
the
ver esses
Warriors Den today.
rework aí.
Sure. Thanks, Lawrence.
Thanks for having us.
So we know you're raring to go for year 6, but we do have to ask for a little bit of patience at the moment as we get everything finalized and good to go. However, in the meantime, if you are interested, we should be dropping 2 links in chat. one for the Year 6 article, and one for the FAQ on the Outlanders that should give you a little more insight into what we've got going on and coming up for the future. Year 6 launches on March 17th. And trust me, we are super excited to be able to share this amazing little bit of stuff we've got going on with you guys.
17 de março vai lançar o novo.
Thank you all so much for these amazing 5 years you've given us in For Honor. It's been just a pleasure working with this community. It's been wonderful having you guys around. I mean, the community, it builds this game up amazingly, and we love having you guys here. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here with us. But we do have something really important to show you guys. Something you've all been waiting for. So without further ado, the hero trailer for the pirate.
Agora.
Who am I, you ask?
A mulher,
And
cara.
who do I stand with? Covenants? Factions? You think too much. Look, I've got a good blade, a few tricks up my sleeve, and a nice crew. Call me an outlander, if you like. Stop asking. More fighting, mate.
Ela tem uma pistola. Espero que isso seja uma execução. Parece que só tem feminino, né?
Well, until we meet again, get ready, because you're in for a wild ride.
Caramba, velho. Parece que é genderlock, né? Vamos ver qual que é a história dessa pirata e a arte por trás dela. Infelizmente não veio o visual que eu esperava, não. Eu queria algo mais Black Flag, tá ligado?
Pirate Hero. And who better to talk about that with me than JC, Jeremy, and Ian? You are a new member to the Warriors Den. Welcome, fellas. How are you doing?
Pretty good. What about you?
Very good.
I am doing very, very well. Again, that trailer was super awesome. But yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about some of the things that are coming with the pirate hero. Let's talk about the general concept behind the pirate. She does have a shooty thing, which is a first for honor for a hero. So JC, why don't you go ahead and take us away?
Yeah. So as you said, it's the first time we have a character that has a pistol. That's kind of cool, right? So she has a cutlass and a pistol. It's also the first time that we have a character that has two completely distinct weapons. I think the closest we've had was Peacekeeper with like a sword and a dagger type of thing, but now it's really like two completely different weapons. It's pretty interesting. And it's also interesting to note that the character is locked to a single body type. So she's our little pirate.
Só mulher.
Cool. As you see her wielding that cutlass and that pistol again, the way she plays is really interesting. Really mixes up the usage of the pistol and the cutlass constantly, uses them in combos, into fights, into a bunch of different things. So it's super, super cool. Feels really different. So I'm really excited for people to try it out. And there's also a couple of little surprises we have in store that we'll talk about a little bit later in regards to how she plays. I think it's pretty cool too that like it's clear that with the introduction of the Outlanders, that the samurai, the knights, the Vikings, the Wulin, all these people, they're not alone anymore, or never were actually. So it's kind of interesting to have that. And last but not least, people are going to be hyped with this hero. We're making sure that we have cosmetic rewards available through a free event pass that will launch with the launch of the hero. I know Jamie's going to talk a little bit more about cosmetics in a while, but it's pretty interesting. So I'm really, really hyped about the hero.
Me too. Now, let's jump on over to the narrative side with Ian.
Vamos
I
ver a
know
parte
you are,
narrativa
like I said,
dela,
mentioned,
que
you are new to the Warriors Den, but
tem
let's go ahead and start talking about
diferente aí, né?
the pirates. Let's talk about, or like the
Ela usa
pirate
uma
hero. Let's talk
pistola e
about
um
the
alfange,
Outlanders,
né? Uma
and
cutlass.
kind of the inspiration that that the
E
pirate
qual
hero
foi a
kind of
inspiração
takes
e tal.
inspiration from. By all means, go ahead and you have the floor.
Particularmente
Thank
não
you very
gostei
much.
do visual dela.
All right. So first and foremost, let's be clear: the pirates, they're not a faction per se. They're a group. They're seafarers, and they don't have a home save for their ship, and they don't have a family save for their crew. They're this tight unit. They found each other out on the seas in the past years, and they formed this strong bond under the leadership of their captain, Buyin. Buyin is our main pirate hero, and as some players previously guessed and theorized online, she was partly inspired by Zheng Yisao, also known as Qing Shi. Sorry if I messed up the pronunciation there a little bit, but she was a pirate queen from the early 1800s.
A inspiração
Buyin
que a gente
is the
tinha
main
falado
pirate
no meu
hero.
vídeo.
She's of Chinese origin, but she is not a Wulin. When she was young, she lost her
Acertamos,
entire
né?
family in
Acertamos.
the
Só
Wulin
que
Civil
ela não
War,
é Wulin,
and
mas é uma
because of
pirata
this,
chinês.
she has no allegiance to the Wulin or to anyone else, really. She grew up as an orphan on the seas. She gained knowledge, skills, and a killer edge, all in the name of survival. She grew up alone, so along the way, she's picked up this crew of like-minded individuals. She gave them a home, and now they've arrived in Heathmore, and you know, there might be bringing some mysterious relics along with them that will drive the narrative of Year 6 forward. So finally, Buyin and the Pirates, let's call them a subgroup of the Outlanders. In the same way that all thumbs are fingers, but
Os
not
piratas,
all
eles são
fingers are thumbs.
subgrupos
All pirates
dos
are
Outlanders, né?
but not all Outlanders are pirates. The
Significa
pirates
que
are
todos
just the
eles são
first hero of
piratas.
the Outlanders, and there is so much more to come.
Ooh,
A little
a little-
teaser.
yeah, a little tease for the future of Year 6. You have my
Maybe.
attention. Ooh.
Interesting.
Cara,
All right,
eu
Jeremy,
não
let's go
curti
ahead and
não,
move
hein?
on over to you. So, you know,
Achei
since
que
we
ficou
are
muito
introducing
caricato.
a pirate hero, obviously we're going to have some pirate-themed armor variations and weapons. So let's go ahead and take a look at these.
Yes, absolutely. Hello,
Vamos
everyone.
ver as variações
On the
agora,
art
né?
side,
Talvez.
like Jan was saying, the pirate traveled a lot. So the first set is really focusing on that like backstory of the character. So she traveled a lot. She's looting stuff here and there across the world, and you will see there is some reference from the Chinese, yes, but also from the different culture that we have in our game. So really, it's not a mix and match, but you can see that there is some reference from all of the culture in the game.
Até
After that, the
Migretti aí,
second
ó.
set, we went with something a bit more formal, I would say. There is still different inspiration from different culture, but like you can see, it's a bit more formal, a bit more ornamentation on it. So that's what we went for the second set. And the third set, it's really a mix between the Viking and the sea culture. So that's where we went a bit crazy on the pirate fantasy. You will find a lot of pirate element on that set, and really that was the goal with this last one. So like you're seeing, each of them you have like two different versions of it. So once it's the coat that is on or off. Sometimes it's the bandana. Sometimes it's the hat.
Não
So there
achei
are
legal
small
não, hein,
differences
galera?
here and there. But the most important thing is
Gosto
really
particular
the
meu,
fact that the
mas
theme color and the alternative material are not applied at the same area. So it's going to
achei
give
horrível,
enough
pra falar a
freedom for the
verdade.
player to customize their character how they want it to look like.
Mas aí
So
é.
that's really awesome.
Tem que ver nas
One last thing
personalizações, né? Se dá pra
is,
trocar essas cores aí e
Andrew
tal.
was mentioning to me
Parece
that
mais
all
pra mim
the,
palhaço
not
do que
all of them,
pirata.
so not all of those visuals, but some of them, you will be able to apply the alternative material on the ending part of the hairs. So it's going to give a bit more freedom, once again. So for those of you who are a bit trendy and that you want to customize the hair of your parrot, you will be able to do it. So with this release, we're having 14 different visuals that will be released, and we will have 4 additional ones that will come later in the coming TUs.
Beautiful. I love a good pirate hat.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess also we have some pirate weapon variations to look at as well.
Yes, absolutely. So we have the
As
weapons.
espadas, né?
Like GC said, we have the blade, the guard, and also the pistol. Those weapon is called a cut glass. Once again, we're starting with very simple version. I would say the designs are, I wouldn't say basics, but like we are using more
tá legal.
like wood, rusty iron. And as we go more, we are going
Olha
with
essa,
some
que
more
bonito.
exotic and
Eu
some
gosto de
more
armas
fancy
mais simples
designs.
assim, eu acho
So
tá
this
legal.
time we're gonna have 4 basic weapon, 3 advanced, 3 heroic, 3 epic, and 5 legendary. So the more we go, the more we're trying to integrate some leather, also some gold, some silver, some jade. You will see there's also some paint here and there on the more epic and legendary one, and really around the legendary one, you will start to see some sea monsters, some patterns also that are a bit more fancy, I would say, a bit more exotic. So really, it's a nice variety, I would say.
If I can just add really
Colocaram
quickly, the
elementos de
design of these
monstros
weapons
marinhos nas
combined with their
armas.
names might
Legal, né?
reveal a little bit of the
Legal
past
assim, o
of
conceito, a execução eu
if
particularmente não
players
acho
want to keep
legal,
an eye out
mas
on the names, they could connect the dots and figure out where she's been and what she's been up to.
Ooh, you have been on the show once, and you've already dropped 2 teases for all types of things. I am here for it. One thing I wanted to mention is just like it makes sense for a lot of these weapons to have like rust on them or like water spots. They're out on the sea. They're fighting. They're doing all.
eu tô
these
igual
things. So,
quando
like,
lançou o
having that little
Yomungander,
element
cara,
just helps
olhando
really
assim,
bring things
procurando
together
algo
that
que eu
bite that
acho
much more,
legal.
and it's brilliant. And then like look at that. That just looks brilliant. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
they're amazing.
But there you have it. That is the narrative aspect of the Pirate Hero and the Outlanders. On all and of course the cosmetics and all of that fun stuff. So gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by on the show and talking about TU2 a little bit, and talking about the Pirate Hero and all the little fun things that come with her. But JC, don't go anywhere
É
because
isso,
you and I
essas
actually
são
have
as
some
armas, os
gameplay
sets
to go over. Isn't that
do
right?
personagem. E aí, o que vocês
Oh,
acharam?
yes, indeed.
Comenta aí, galera.
Well,
Just before we go, I just want to mention that this character is a huge effort, but it's really a collective effort. A lot of people are working on this from the Montreal team, but also from the Chengdu team. So really on the art side, the design side, the animation side, all of it. I want to say a huge congrats to the team because we're always trying to push the boundaries. And once again, I think we really succeed. So can't wait to see the player to enjoy that new character. But I'm pretty sure they will all really like it.
Congrats, everybody. That was amazing.
absolutely. Hats off to everyone who worked on this.
Pirate hats off.
I like you. I need to have you on more often. But just as a reminder, folks, the Pirate Hero will be available on January 27th, and there will be a 2-week period.
Lembrando,
and then
dia
the Hero will
27
be
vai ser o
available for Steel,
lançamento, tá?
So definitely be on the lookout for that.
Pouquinho
So that
antes,
being said,
sempre
don't
vai
go
ter
anywhere.
aqui
We're
no
gonna
meu
get into
canal
Hero
conteúdo
gameplay
com
right after this.
gameplay,
So we'll
tudo
be right
dele,
back.
tá? Pode ficar sossegado.
Alright.
Agora a parte que mais importa, vamos ver a gameplay. Ver como vai ser essa pistola aí, né? Esse bacamarte. Eu vi ele tirou um bacamarte ali na hora. Deve ser algum talento, alguma coisa assim.
Warriors, welcome back to the show, and I am joined by
Agora a hora
fan
que
favorite,
todo
you know,
mundo
beloved
gosta, quando
JC.
tá
How
o
are you doing, my friend?
grande,
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing
grande cara
awesome.
dos
So we just went
foguetes,
over
lá
all
esqueci
of
o
the
nome
the
dele.
narrative stuff for the new hero. We've talked about the inspiration, all that stuff. It's gameplay time.
Yeah.
You excited?
I'm really excited.
I'm really excited myself. So we're actually gonna do something a little bit different. So usually what we'll do, we'll kind of have like a panel, and kind of just go over the videos and kind of talk over them. But instead, JC will actually be playing with Francis and going through the movesets, the feats, all of that fun stuff, and then we'll come back here and we'll kind of talk about what we saw, any last minute thoughts, and then we'll kick it to the next segment.
Awesome.
But to start off, if you had to choose 3 words to describe the new hero, which
Quais
ones
são
would
as
you
3
choose?
palavras? Pode
So
escrever.
I'm gonna cheat here a little bit. It's gonna be a tiny bit more than 3 words, but let's get ahead. So first one is easy to play. So we
Fácil
really
de
worked
jogar.
hard to make a hero that was accessible, right? So if you're playing with this pirate hero,
Personagem
you're gonna
acessível.
find that most of what you're wanting to do, like input wise and stuff, is gonna work. We spent a lot of time on this to make sure the flow was good and it was easy to play. but also not necessarily doesn't mean that because it's easy that it's that it doesn't have any depth. So the second thing I would like to go towards is more versatility. So we also tried to make a hero that was very versatile, which means that it's not about the amount of options that she has, but more something around the fact that she has a lot of different options available at all times. Generally, when you have a look at her fight kit, you'll notice that she has like dodge attacks and a bunch of different little things. But most of the time, you can branch out to any of her attacks from pretty much anything. So that's kind of interesting. We really wanted to make a hero that had a really interesting flow, but was really versatile within that flow and have a lot of different options depending on your situation. And last but not least is mobility. Being a pirate,
Muita mobilidade, isso me preocupa, cara. Depois do Shinobi eu tô com medo das mobilidades. Os personagens passando no meio dos golpes, não sofrendo dano, cheio de iframe, isso me incomoda muito.
She has an infinite chain that's a little bit different from what other heroes have, so that's going to be a cool thing there. But at the same time, you'll see that there's a lot of mobility there. So whenever she does like target swap or different attacks, she moves quite a bit in between. So you can use her in a group fight when your opponents are not like all bunched up and be able to go against multiple opponents and actually be able to hit them properly.
Absolutely awesome. So now this is the first For Honor character that we have that has a pistol. It's like a kind of like a flintlock. So what are like some other things that make her stand out, make her unique to For Honor?
Yeah, so like you said, she has a pistol. So she's the first character that we have that has two wildly different weapons. Like we've had heroes before that had two weapons, but they're generally pretty similar. With her wielding a cutlass and a pistol, it's a little bit different. She has a bunch of moves that end up using the pistol. Don't worry though, like we're not in a Shinobi type of situation where you can get shot constantly from off screen. that's out of the window there, but it should be good. Yeah, so she has that, and there's another little
Não vai ter
surprise that
ataque
we
à
have in
distância,
store
galera.
with her that I'll leave for in the video, but should be pretty interesting there.
I'm excited to get into the video. So again, just to recap, JC and Francis are gonna go through the Pirates moveset, feats, all that fun stuff, and then we'll come back, do our last thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this segment. So without further ado, enjoy.
All right, so hey everybody, welcome back. I'm JC. I'm here with Francis.
Perda de pacote na live.
We're going to show you a bit how the pirate hero functions, works. So like I spoke about before, there was like three main pillars we're using for this character. One of them
Não tem guarda reflexo, obrigado, Deus.
That she's easy to play. So that translates for us in this case with having a rather small moveset, but one that's quite effective. We also want her to be versatile, so you'll be able to see how that works being versatile. In that she has a lot of depth. So even though her moveset is quite small, with a lot of her options, you have a lot of different attacks you can perform at a lot of different times, which is kind of interesting. It makes her very, very versatile. Maybe like you're going to be in this situation I want to use this or this or that. So it's kind of interesting there. And we also want her to be mobile, which means that in a lot of cases, she moves quite a bit when she performs her moves. That lets you like reach other opponents in group fights and stuff, so it's kind of interesting. So first, let's do the honorable thing here, Francis. Go. There we go. All right, so let's fight. So first off, her chains, rather simple. She has light into light.
Light.
From any direction. You'll notice that second light there is undodgeable. She has light to heavy. You'll also notice that heavy is also armored, so that's kind of interesting.
Segundo heavy tem hyper armor.
And heavy to heavy. So nothing too complicated, right? Pretty simple. We're good to go.
Tranquilo.
The interesting thing the hero has is that after every single heavy attack, you can hit the guard break button and you're gonna get a pistol blast,
Vai dar tiro.
Which uses the pistol in your left hand. So if the heavy attack hits like this, the guard break button actually shoots a guaranteed shot. So that bullet is like if your heavy attack landed, the pistol blast afterwards is always guaranteed. However, if the attack is blocked, we have this one that is dodgeable, right? So if Francis gets hit by it, you'll see we shoot the opponent in the stomach, but that attack is dodgeable, so that works quite well. The other thing that's interesting to note is that the pistol blast itself initiates chains. So I can go into heavy, pistol blast into heavy, to pistol blast into light, for example, right? Which is pretty interesting. So that gives her a lot of an infinite chain that has to alternate between heavy and.
Tá, o Pistol Blast tá funcionando tipo igual o soco do Centurião, por
enquanto.
enquanto.
Be a bash, so it's kind of interesting there. So that works quite well. The next thing we want to look out for is she also has an attack which is called Walk the Plank, which is performed by holding down on the left stick and pressing heavy. You can do that after any single attack, and it'll impale your opponent, and then there's multiple options out of it, right? So after a light, you can do this, impale your opponent, and you saw that I gave my opponent a little knee to the face there. So there's 3 different options to get out of it. So you can either do nothing, like this, like we said, knees, that wall splats. So if your opponent is close to a wall, gonna get bumped into a wall, then you can get another heavy afterwards or get more damage in.
Isso aí parece colocando pra baixo
press
guard
guard break
break.
here for a quick gunshot to
Ou
the
pra
face
trás
in
do
this
heavy,
case.
não entendi.
And what's also interesting here is that gunshot also initiates chains. So I can go gunshot into a heavy, keep going, do all that kind of cool stuff. So like that flow there is really interesting. It works quite well. That move can be used to gank. It works really, really well. And last but not least, you can dodge out of it to avoid other opponents. So that's kind of like the gist of that attack. On top of that, we have Dodge Word Heavy. Dodge Word Heavy is the first time we do something like this. The move itself is rather slow, but it's unblockable and armored. So it's kind of interesting that you can do it. Sorry?
So it's a spicy one, right?
Yeah, it's really, really spicy. It's pretty interesting. And on top of that, to make sure that it works
Dash
well,
heavy,
it
bloqueável com
also
hiper
soft
armor.
feints to guard break. And keen eyes will notice that it soft feints to the fast version of a guard break, the one that we usually use after a feint. So this way, you can go like that really, really quickly. That soft feint also applies to the walk the plank as well. So those are 2 soft feints that she has here. Helps you defeat opponents that try to dodge, that sort of stuff, and parry attempts as well. She also has side dodge heavy attacks. These are heavies, so again, you can go into your pistol blast afterwards, like before. Pretty cool. And last but not least, we have her sprint attack, which is like this. Works well, has a big trajectory, kind of interesting. It also initiates chains and can go into pistol blast as well. And then her zone attack, which is, it's not the fastest one, but it also initiates chains. So you can go into your heavies, your lights, your walk the plank, whatever you like. That works really, really well. And the last thing we want to showcase for the hero's moveset is that she can dodge cancel out of everything, kind of like what we have on Orochi on some other heroes. So after any attack, she can cancel the recovery with a dodge, even on miss. It works.
Pode cancelar tudo com
well.
dodge.
So what's interesting in this case is that, let's say I land a light, I can go into dodge for the heavy if I'd like to, or I can go into side dodge heavy, or I can go into this move here. I can do whatever I like, right? So it's pretty interesting how like she's really, really, really mobile and versatile, and that's what I meant. So after anything, whenever if you're in a group fight, if you're in a 1v1 or whatever happens, you have a lot of her options at your disposal after any attack that you land. So it's pretty interesting how she can go really wide, do a lot of different things, but still keep the pressure on opponents and be able to be a bit slippery. When I was talking about the range as well, we can see that those heavies go quite far in chains, and the same applies to a pistol blast, right? So again, the goal of this is to be able to target swap between opponents, be able to reach them. Her attacks have quite nice trajectories. She can hit a lot of different people around her, so it works really well. Okay, so now let's just do a quick showcase of what kind of things she can do, right? So let's go a little bit nuts here. And with a little execution right there.
Perfect.
That looks really sick. Okay. See, so, like, even with this, what I find interesting is that I was able to chain a bunch of different things that normally I wouldn't be able to. I started with a light, and that whole chain ended up, like, completely destroying Francis. It works quite well, so it's pretty interesting. So that's about it for the move set. So we're gonna move on to feats. Francis is gonna explain to us a little bit how
Meus
the
feats dele agora.
All right. So let's talk feats. Francis, you wanna run through the pirates' feats?
Yeah, for sure. So first feat for pirate is gonna be one called armor piercing slug. So it's super simple. You're just gonna throw a bullet towards your enemy. When it hits, it's gonna do a defense debuff and deal direct damage.
So
Pretty
let's look-
simple.
Yeah, let's look at it. So from neutral.
Yep.
So it's pretty interesting too, because that feat is that feat actually lets you do range damage, right? Which is one of the things
Dá
that
10
we
de
didn't want to
dano
have,
primeiro e dá debuff
like,
de
on demand
defesa.
at all times, but you can still perform range attacks a little bit with her pistol.
Yeah, that's
É
a good
uma
point.
kunai que te dá
So for
debuff.
feat 2, we have a feat called Pocket Bomb. This one is also pretty simple. You just throw a bomb at somebody. It has a small radius, and it deals also damage when it impacts. It also has a really cool animation. So
Yeah.
if you can do that one.
Let's have a look.
Lá, o segundo ela joga uma bombinha, dá 25 de dano.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. So for feat 3, this one is I think it's a really cool one. I don't think we have something like that in the game right now. It's called Trick Shot, and it's basically a projectile that will bounce on contact to another close target. And that feat can bounce up to 3 times, considering the initial target. It's a 4 attack if
Não,
all
você
the
não vai
enemies
fazer
are in
isso.
the vicinity. So we can showcase that one.
All right, so let's look. So I'm gonna shoot it at the Yorm here, courtesy of Benjamin, that you guys know from the Warriors
Cara,
Den
não.
sometimes.
Você não dá tiro que ricocheteia em todo
Yeah,
mundo.
so see, so it's pretty interesting, right? The bullet hit
Yeah.
the Yorm and then bounced to the Kyoshin, dealt damage, and applied
Não,
bleed as well.
mano.
Exactly. So it's also worth noting
Quanto dá de
that
dano isso?
this may sound like super strong, but you can also dodge it at any point to stop the ricochet from happening, right?
Okay.
So if you can do it again.
Yeah, I can't right now because it's still on cooldown, but we'll be able to do it. It's okay. So
Podia colocar o
what's interesting
cooldown
there is
pra
how many
regenerar
targets
rápido
can
aí,
it-
né, galera?
So it's
Tô
4
aprendendo a
targets, right?
fazer vídeo hoje.
So we say
Cooldown
it's
dos
3
talentos dá pra
bounces
aumentar
with
lá.
the first target. So basically just keep in mind that it's a 4 target attack. But at any point, right, if you're dodging, you're just going to stop the ricochet from happening
Okay.
to other targets
And
nearby.
can it hit minions? Can it do any of that
It
stuff?
can't hit minions, it can hit yourself
Pode
or,
acertar
other
minion
allies, but it
também,
won't
cara. Imagina, você
bounce
limpa
or
o minion,
ricochet
porque se dá
from
tiro,
an ally or whatnot.
ricocheteia em
It can
todo
hit
mundo.
the king in breach, and I don't think it can hit the guardian.
Okay. All right.
But that's
Vamos ver.
All right. So what about feat
O
4?
outro ali tem 2 barras de vida,
so feat
vamos
4
ver.
is called Gunpowder Surprise.
Ah, vai ser o
it's,
quarto agora.
I mean, I'm just gonna let you showcase it.
Yeah.
Just because it looks
É,
super
é uma
cool.
catapulta
Alright, so
pelô
let's
no
go.
4, quer ver? É um bacamarte.
So yeah, so this is
Não dá muito dano, mas demora 40 de dano.
Tier 4,
Mas
but
demora,
shootable,
derruba
right?
todo mundo.
You don't get the armor from, the Jormungandr. This can also hit the pirate, so you want to be sure to use it in a more strategic way than just using it when you're inside of the AoE to hit yourself. It will also bump your allies, and it also deals damage to whoever's in there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. So
Is your feat still in cooldown?
my 4th one is in cooldown, but I can do my 3rd one again if you'd like.
Try it just to
Okay.
see.
So let's go.
And I didn't dodge, so
Yeah.
bloopers, I guess.
It's all good. Okay. So I
Uma barra e
when
meia de
I
vida.
was introducing the heroes and stuff. I noticed that I actually
Pouco mais
said
que o arco, né?
that we have a little surprise in store for players with the Pirates feat. So can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I think this is something we're pretty proud of. It's not a new tech per se, but it's something that's been incorporated into the whole hero. What you're going to be able to do with this character is at any point when you're able to use your pistol blast, you can just use a feat instead, just to swap it out. You say, I don't want to use pistol blast, I want to use my trick shot, and maybe hit the first target and then hit the other targets to protect yourself. It's all doable with this tech.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, anytime I use a pistol blast, so basically if I do this, right? So
Yeah,
instead of that
you're
pistol
going to be
blast,
able to use the feat.
I can use my feet. Okay, so that's pretty
Ah,
cool.
tá. Toda hora que ele for
So let's see what it looks
conectar
like, right? So I'm gonna be on you. I'm gonna
usar a
throw a
pistola,
heavy,
ele
and I'm
pode
gonna
usar
go to
o
the feet
talento
instead of
no
doing
lugar.
pistol blast.
Exactly.
Oh wow, okay, that works quite well. Can we do
É
it to feet
interessante.
2 and 4, right? Because they're not
Yes.
gunshots.
So we can even use them with feat 2 and 4.
Mas com o
The only
3 isso é bem
difference is that
apelão,
won't-
cara. Porque
it's
você
not
garante o
quote-unquote
negócio,
guaranteed.
praticamente.
Okay.
If you're hitting, right?
So let me give it a
Because
shot.
Então, se você dá o heavy, o
So
heavy
here I could
garante.
have dodged and
You
rolled
could have
away
dodged
or
it,
whatnot, but you can still use it in
Pessoal, ele
chain,
não
which
vai
is
falar
great.
isso?
Okay.
So
I
you
think
can
too
probably do it.
what's interesting as well is I can target swap them, right? So I'm gonna
Yep.
be on Ben here. I'm gonna do heavy target swap, and then I'm gonna go into my feet 3. Oh wow, okay. This is actually pretty interesting, right? Like it feels quite strong. I can go into my feet 4 as well. We can showcase it. It's dodgeable still, right? So you can go. See, so it
You'll
hit
be
me,
able-
bounced me, hit me, dealt a little bit of damage to me as well.
Exactly.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And is there another little trick to those feats? Because
I
that's
don't know.
already pretty cool tech, right?
Yeah. Can
okay.
you tell me about that?
Yeah. So what's interesting also I find with these feats is that not only can you use them in your chains, they also initiate chains, just like the pistol blast, right? So I can go heavy into feet into heavy again afterwards, which is super interesting because normally like we wouldn't really have feats that not only we can use in chains. We've had it a little bit. Little unknown tech Hitokiri can actually chain into her 4th feet after pretty much every single attack. It's just not very well known or used. But this is the first time that we actually put it as a big part of a character's fight kit, being able to do that sort of stuff. So it's kind of interesting, right? So I can go like this, like that. That's pretty cool. All right.
Yeah, so it's going to be great to see, how like all the plays the Pirates are going to be able to do. Maybe we're going to see it on social medias. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that should be super interesting.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
so one last thing I want to showcase real quick because it's something that we haven't really seen much. Is that so? Before when I was showcasing the Pirates pistol blast, so you have this guaranteed pistol blast after a heavy, right? So what happens
isso
if
que eu
you
queria
want to
dizer.
target swap? So this is the first time we've also done this, which is if you stay on the same target and your heavy attack hits,
Vai
and
garantir
you
o
press guard break,
talento.
the hit is going to be guaranteed on your main target. However, if you target swap, instead of keeping on your target and doing a guaranteed hit on that target, you're actually able to do target swap and go into the other pistol blast like this, right? So this is pretty interesting also because that we really wanted the character to be able to weave in between opponents quite a bit in group fights. That gunshot, the pistol blast is like 500 milliseconds, so it's super quick. It's hard to react to in group fights, so you really need to be aware when you're fighting her, when you're outnumbering her, to be able to fight well and to be aware of what can be coming. So that's it for the Pirate Hero. We hope you enjoyed this.
Eu
little
queria
thing, and we're going
testar
back
quanto
to
garante
the
um
regularly
heavy
scheduled
de
programming of
guard
Warriors
break
Den.
com
Thanks,
esse terceiro
everybody.
talento
Thank you.
garantindo.
And
aí,
just
né?
like that, we are back here once again. JC, that was a great video. I really appreciate you and Francis kind of walking
vou testar
through all
tudo
of that
isso.
stuff. That's
Daqui a
that's
pouco
cool.
eu vou ter
So,
acesso já a
before we
ele.
wrap up, just a couple more questions, just kind of based off the hero. What are some existing heroes that I could be playing right now in For Honor that would make the transition to playing the pirate hero a lot easier?
Yeah, so we really built this hero so that she would have a bunch of little parts from a bunch of different characters that could work well. You can transition from. One of them is Peacekeeper. If you're used to playing Peacekeeper, you have the deep gouges. Whenever you land a heavy, you can do that quick dagger thing. So the pirate hero has the same with her guns, with her pistols. So that's pretty strong. Also, if you play Zanhu quite a bit, you'll be familiar with the dodge cancels, being able to cancel all your recoveries into dodges to give yourself more mobility. A bit better, like mix-up options as well. That's pretty strong. If you're familiar with Gladiator, she has a similar thing to his Skewer, where she can impale her opponents, do like a bunch of them follow-ups, help in ganks. So generally, if you know these 3 heroes, you should be good to go. She has, like I said, a bit of everything, so it's kind of interesting there.
And since she's such a versatile hero, how would you say that she would fit inside of like a team comp? And like this is, just whether it's regular gameplay, esports, stuff like that.
Yeah. So generally, like we view her as a kind of a jack of all trades, master of none type of thing, where she can do she can do a lot of different. She has a lot of different options. She can compete in a lot of different spots. But generally, we also try to push her more towards what we have at the super high level, which is a lot of like group fights. So she has a lot of tools to compete in group fights. So that's quite good. Yeah, whether you're outnumbered or you're outnumbering with all of her different tools. The feed cancels definitely help in this regard. It's one of the few heroes that can actually do something with hitting a character one way and then be able to hit somebody else that's further apart in a group fight that are trying to attack you, that's trying to stay maybe a little bit out of your range. So those are kind of really interesting things
Personagem
that she
mais
has
pra
that work
teamfight,
quite
mais pra
well.
lutas em
So
grupo, pra
I would
gank.
really see her, I think,
É
in,
onde ele tá
like in a lot of group
posicionando
fight
ela.
focused
Vamos ver.
compositions.
Beautiful, versatile indeed. I'm very
Yeah.
excited for the Pirate Hero, and for everyone, just as a reminder, the Pirate Hero will be available January 27th. So definitely go ahead and update the
Dia
game. Get your
27
time
lança, hein,
in with the
galera.
hero. JC and Francis, if you were watching, hello, thank you for going through that
E
video.
é isso,
and,
esse é o
showing us all of the
moveset
awesome
e
stuff
os
for
feats
Pirate
do
Hero.
novo
But
personagem.
Warriors, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Vamos ver o que eles vão
Alright.
trazer aqui agora. Cosméticos e realizações do jogo. Cara, eu fui do céu, digo do céu ao inferno, mas eu fiquei muito feliz com os anúncios do ano 6.
Warriors, welcome back. And I
Deu
am
uma
joined once again
brochada
by
com o
with
visual
Jeremy. Wanna say
da
hi.
pirata.
Hi,
mas
Jeremy. How you doing?
Vamos ver o que eles falam
Hello,
agora.
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing pretty well. So we're gonna talk about some of the cosmetics that are coming with the launch of the new hero, the Pirates of the Aurora cosmetics, and this will be running from January 27th to February 17th. So it is a time-limited thing, and we've got a free event pass. We've got a battle outfit here, the Forgotten Riches, and we also will have
Piratas de
a mood effect
Aurora.
called Riches of the Deep, as you see Black Prior here hanging out with his hot treasure, as he mentioned earlier. And then we also have an ornament that will be coming as well, called Mutinous Riches, a very
Não ficou meio
swashbuckling,
bobinho isso daí?
very
Pra mim não
piratey.
captura
Is
muito
that
a
is that
essência do
is that
For
an eye
Honor,
patch
saca?
on the-
Eu
on
queria
the-
algo
the
mais
skull there? I
dark,
think-
Of course
mais...
it is.
It is.
Menos
Yeah, of course, it's
colorido.
the classic eye patch. So yeah, these were all things that will be available from January 27th through February 17th. But let's talk about some of the other things that that'll be coming with TU2. Of course, we always do like a menu kind of rollout. So why don't you go ahead and take the floor, Jeremy, and kind of talk to us about these
Yes.
things.
Absolutely. So by this time it's still in winter. In this studio, we're still in winter, but with the arrival of the pirate in the universe, we went a bit crazy with the Aurora Borealis. So like you can see, it was present in the main menu. It is also in the face-off. It is also in the landing page. And really, you can see it's going to be all
As
across the
mudanças no
platform.
mapa.
For the
Ó o
world
barco
map,
chegando ali, da hora.
previously we could see that something was
Peraí,
coming
galera, já volto.
near the land, but now with the clouds that are gone, we can clearly see that okay, it's the boat, it's the pirate that are coming, and they are even reaching the land. So yeah, the pirates are here to stay, I would say. And then we have the mood board. Obviously, those were the inspiration for the realization we did in the map, but also in the menu. So what we're gonna see right away. We started from those images to come up with this result. So the action is taking place in Arbor. Like you can see, it's on a night like a mood. There's some snow, obviously. The pirate boat is really near the action now. Like you can see, the Aurora Borealis is all across the map. So wherever you are
Esses
in
piratas
the map, you will
no
see
mapa, foi
the
engraçado. Pena que
Aurora
tiraram
Borealis.
um burrinho.
Some pirates here and there
Tiraram os
that
burrinhos
are
do
hanging
porto,
out,
eu fiquei meio
screaming
triste.
stuff
Fui
to
lá
the
procurar o
player.
burrinho e tinha um pirata no
Here we
lugar
can
dele.
see
Mas
the
tá bem
market
legal.
that has been revised as well, with some pirates minion here and there. Here, and this is the amazing landscape that we can see with the boat and the sky.
Vamos ver os
During this TU, we will have those new minion. So we're keeping the previous pirate minion that we had the TU before, but we're adding this one. So one side we're gonna have those visual, and in the other side it's gonna be a rotation that's gonna be for the three other visuals. So it's another pirate minion added to the roster.
Beautiful, awesome. Everything looks super sick. And then we also have some armor variations for already existing heroes, very pirate themed stuff.
Absolutely. So yes, we have a new character, but we're not forgetting our other character
Vamos ver.
this time. So we have really
Novas
new
armaduras.
designs for them. Like you can see, those are obviously with pirate-related design. I would say there is a lot of materials, a lot of tattoos that have some exotic patterns. But compared to the previous batch, you will see that they are slightly more chaotic. I would say they are really badass. So that's why it's a bit more, it's a darker tone, like you can see. And even some of the character, not all of them, but some of them, you will see that they have one blind eye. So obviously it's a pirate reference here as well. So I wanted to say a huge congrats to the Chengdu team who worked on them, who designed them. So once again, we succeed to have some amazing content, and the player will be really happy to receive all of them.
Ele tá falando, mas
I'm
tem que
excited
passar,
to
né?
see them all. We're actually gonna go ahead and roll a video, kind of showing like all of the armor variations, and after that, we'll be right back to talk about some improvement to materials.
Hora de analisar
So enjoy the video and then don't go
as
anywhere.
novas.
We'll be right
Vamos ver se
Perfect.
é novo mesmo
like.
ou se só aplicaram uma texturazinha, né? Aquelas enganadas, botaram uma cota de malha só ali. Nada de novo. Não, é a mesma coisa de sempre, pô. Laubringer feio. Parece armadura de pedra, pô. Zero mudança. Todas essas armaduras já tem. Trocaram só as texturas só no negócio. Aramuxa peludo. Aramuxa Chewbacca. Aramuxa das neves. Tokir. Kyoshi com uma tatuzinha no tornozelo. Vou usar essa sandalinha na praia aí, hein, Kyoshi? Oh, o Zerk Egir, cara. O Zerk Egir. Horrível. E esse Highlander aqui? Olha. Obrigado. Gostei do Warlord. O Warlord ficou legal. Botou ali uma cicatriz no olho do Tianji e do Shinobi, né? Jang de um dálmata. Nossa, conseguiram enfeiar a Nux, hein? Nux e a merendeira, ó. Achei que não era possível deixar a Nux feia, conseguia. Não. Eu não gostei, não. Olha aí, melhora no material.
And
ver o que é isso aí.
Welcome
Se é a
back,
personalização que ele
Warriors. Here
falou
with me
que ia
today
ter.
to talk about some of the improvements that we're going to be making to our alternate material coloration stuff is Matthew. Welcome to the Warriors Den, Matthew.
Thank you. Always glad to be back. It's been a year or two, I believe, but always
It's
happy
been a
to come
bit,
back.
but
and
we're always happy to have you on, man. How you doing today?
doing pretty good. I'm here
Cool.
to talk about some more technical stuff yet again, but it won't be classes this time around. So the gist of what's happening is that we've done some improvements to the way that the material system works. However, explaining what those improvements were, even to the team, proved kind of difficult because nobody quite understands. Like, the color theory behind all of this stuff is kind of complicated. So we figured,
Cara,
you
falando que é
know, like,
muito
since
difícil
we're
explicar o
releasing
que ele
this
fez. Vamos ver
improvement
se eu
anyway,
consigo entender.
we may as well kind of like talk to the players about what it is, you know. It actually isn't that difficult. It just sounds really complicated on paper. So I figured we'd, you know, discuss this directly on the Warriors Den.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Well, let's go ahead and jump into it, man.
Sounds good. So here's the thing. We're going to be talking about the way that colors blend. Now, this is a masterclass in color. It is not. We're just going to be, you know, surfing over stuff. But the important part to understand is that there are different ways how colors can blend. What we're seeing here is the classic blending of RGB colors that gives you white. It's additive color mixing. Is what you see in old video game puzzles, or even when you're choosing your hair color and when you're editing a character or whatever. It's just, you know, your red, your blue, your green mixing together gives you white. But it's not the only type of color mixing you can have. There's a bunch of different ways how colors can interact. If you grab some paint and you put it all together, you don't end up with white paint. You end up with this grayish brown sludge, you know? So we have our own way how to interact with colorations with the way that the alternate materials work. And yep, this is it. It's the old coloration method. Essentially, the way that it worked is that whatever was gray, or as much as gray as possible, would pick up the alternate material color. And as you get away from gray, you start mixing less and less. And it is a very efficient way to do it. But the problem is that it's assuming that the alternate material color that you're putting on top of yourself is gray. It's great for armors, like for our knights, but when you start adding it on wood or adding it on leather for, like, you know, Vikings and samurais, well, it starts acting funky because that stuff isn't gray, you know, it's brown, or it's, you know, whatever color was underneath. And a lot of our alternate armor sets also have different coloration. And even our armors, they're not actually all that gray. They're kind of rusty and they're reddish. You can't really tell, but there's some red in there. And it's causing the coloration to look weird. Yep, so here we see the old coloration method that if you apply our colors on stuff that's not gray, see, we have some green here that's showing up yellow because of background coloration. Or if we put some blue there, you end up with some pink. It doesn't look right, and that's why the alternate materials always didn't quite look right most of the time.
Cara,
You
era
would
mais
choose a
fácil só
particular color,
mostrar
and
no
unless the
jogo
color
como,
was
como
really
vai
bright,
ficar, né?
you know, really
Não precisava
saturated,
dessa
and it would just
palestra
drown
de
those
cor, mas
changes,
tudo bem.
you would end up with like slight discoloration that didn't look quite right. And not only that, it would cause us from not being able to use colors that were, you know, more grayish because, you know, the method mixed gray, so it wasn't working well. So we decided to go with a new method. The new coloration method, what it does is it essentially removes all the coloration before we slap our alternate material on it. We're desaturating
É que
the
isso deve ter
armor
dado
or
muito
the mesh or
trampo.
whatever's underneath
E o
before
cara
putting
deve
our
estar,
color
mano,
in
eu
there.
preciso
So
valorizar
that
meu
instead of
serviço. Só
having
que
some
no fim
blue
das
here
contas
that's
só vai
giving us
dar
some
uma
pink,
cor no
you just
jogo,
end up
cara.
with blue. It's a slightly more complicated way how to see a coloration method. It required us to mix our colors using tints and stuff instead of using classic RGB, but it gives us a lot of power,
É tipo
and
eu
it permits
tentando
us in this
valorizar meu
improvement to
trampo
get
com
the
um
exact
cliente
coloration that
pra
we
cobrar
want
preço
on
alto
our
no
armor
final, tá
parts
ligado?
instead of having an approximate kind of color. This change is entirely retroactive, so everybody should look better all of a sudden that's using alternate materials. We can see some examples of that right up here right now. Everything that's the colors that are that are more muted and more close to gray are the ones that'll see the most benefits. This change is also going to permit us to make some of the colors that are not as blasted, super saturated, and go with, more natural colors that will mix better on our armors rather than go with like full white and full pink and full, go with some nicer, more muted colors that'll work better on all of our characters instead of just working on knights. No, nice, they work pretty well already because, the armor was pretty close to gray, but some not as much. Mostly,
Cara,
Vikings
você
and
só tá
Samurais are
misturando
gonna
as
get a benefit
cores.
from it, but you do also have some night
Não
changes.
precisa
You see
desse
it right
curso
here, like
todo,
the
não.
plates are going from red to blue and subtle, but it's there. So that's fixed.
Fantastic, Matthews. Thank you so much for giving such a comprehensive and easy to consume way of understanding how we're going about these artistic
Maravilhoso.
changes. It's
Vamos
super
dar uma
exciting.
nerfada no Shinobi aí, meu parceiro. O
These
que você
changes
acha?
are set to go live on the 27th with the new hero launch, I believe. And so, yeah, no, man, thanks so much for coming on and educating us about all of this stuff.
It's always a pleasure to do that stuff. I know that there's a lot of fans that always enjoy like understanding the more technical aspects of what's going down with this stuff. So always ready and willing to feed that stuff to them because I like doing it and it's interesting.
It's definitely
Vamos ver na
really
prática, né?
interesting. But
Claro
yeah,
que
once again, thank you
você tem
so
que ir lá na
much
personalização e
for
vamos
being here to
ver
do
como
that.
vai mudar. Eu gosto de
Amazing
personalizar
stuff.
os personagens.
So yeah, guys, we're gonna kick it over to the Dominion series here in a second. So don't go anywhere.
Tá, agora vai falar do Dominion Series, que é um campeonato que rola lá fora. Praticamente já vamos chegando no fim da live. Assim que terminar a live eu tenho algumas, como sempre, né? Minhas opiniões.
And welcome back, Warriors, and welcome to you, Clarissa. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure, as always.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great, other than, being cold and frozen. Not because of the shores, but because it's in Montreal. Sorry.
Good one, good one.
I don't know. I'm sorry, chat. But you know how I am with these jokes. Anyways, how are you doing?
I'm okay. No, I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for asking. Dominion Series. That's what we're here for. We just had our last chance qualifier on the 15th. Clarissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so just a quick reminder, stage 4.
Podiam
We're in the
incluir
final stage of the Dominion Series
Sul-América, né,
2021,
galera,
and
nisso
like
daí, né?
Lawrence said, last chance
Infelizmente a gente
qualifiers
tá de
happened
fora, então...
this past Saturday. Yes, January 15th. And it was really awesome. There was no official broadcast, but huge shout out to the For Honor Discord Dojo for streaming the EU bracket and for Norgaz who streamed the NA bracket.
Galera, pra
so
quem
definitely
não
check
viu,
out their Twitch
tá
to see the
acabando a live.
VODs.
Eu vou
and
voltar lá no
all of
personagem e
the
a gente vai
fun
conversar um
stuff.
pouco a respeito, tá bom?
So let's
Só pra eu não
quickly get into
cortar a
the
live
brackets.
dos caras no meio
We'll start
aqui.
with EU. So for EU, there were 12 teams participating, and the winner of this is Tylenol and Friends, and they took it over Extra Cool Gachiers ECG. So a quick note is Tylenol and Friends are actually Homeless Shelter Squad from the Stage 3 Major, minus set mix. So it was so these two teams were pretty much the ones that were favored to win. But Tylenol and Friends really, they really showed their, I guess, dominance, if you want to say. They're very strong.
Tá vendo? Os
We
Pro
thought the
também é
games would be
RGB,
really,
viu,
really
galera?
close, but like just from game 1 in the grand finals, they had like a over 500 point lead. And actually in game 1, only one person dropped 1 death. No one else died. So really cool. Definitely check out the VOD at the For Honor Discord Dojo Twitch. So congratulations to Tylenol and Friends. And now we're going to go into the NA bracket, which, I don't know what to say about this one. Guidance Gaming was the favorite team to win, but it was actually Better Than You. And Better Than You is a brand new team consisting of Mio, Flop, Jarl, and Tetsu. Tetsu was actually on Virtue, that Virtue was the team that competed in the Stage 2 major, but the other folks are new. They're actually from console. So it's really refreshing to have new blood come in and take it over Guidance Gaming and just really show why they deserve their spot in the championship finals. So I don't know what else to say other than you should check out the VOD from Norgaz, especially the winner's interview, where
Ó as metas
Better
lá,
Than You
galera.
did
Ó,
talk
Shugoki,
about
Jung,
how much they
Shinobi
practiced.
obrigatório.
They grinded 2s, they grinded 4s, they focused on the LCQ. They actually weren't even 100%. Two of their teammates were like a
Só
bit sick.
ataque em
So
área.
I'm really excited to see what they bring to the table in the championship finals. So congratulations again to our 2 winners.
Woo!
And there's also one more thing that we wanted to show. It's a clip from the EU bracket from the grand finals. Just an inspiration for y'all folks who
Olha lá,
have
Raider,
the rocking chair emote and how to
Shugoki,
kill
Jung
or
Jung
end your match in style.
e
Ugh,
Shinobi.
I love
GG.
that. I love that so much.
Right?
Oh man.
Just like everyone's sitting in the rocking chair, surrounding the last person, chilling. Anyways,
Olha lá,
we love this kind of content.
T-Bag no campeonato,
And it
hein?
was great
Você
that it
que é do
was shown in the
Xbox aí, ó.
LCQ. So
E
hopefully we
reclama que
see
o cara
more in the
faz emote
championship
pra
finals.
você no campeonato lá. Os caras fazem emote e a Ubi tá gravando.
really
aí
hope
ainda.
so. That was all of the rocking chairs. I love it.
So for the championship finals, here are the qualified teams. Just a quick reminder that the top 3 point earners on the leaderboard are already automatically qualified, and the last
Tá falando
spot,
dos
the 4th
campeonatos
spot,
aí.
was
Tá acabando
determined
já,
at the
galera.
LCQ.
Acabar eu vou voltar no Herói lá,
So
tá?
it's really interesting because in the NA team
Vamos dar uma
we do
revisada
have
no,
2 teams that have
no
never
move list
competed in the
dele.
majors before, Black Jackals, who showed a huge display of, I don't know, like a really great performance in stage 3. I was going to say stage 4, but we're in stage 4 right now. But in stage 3, and then Better Than You, just showing up in the LCQ and taking the last spot. And then for the EU teams, it's pretty much the same teams that we've been seeing in the previous majors. But something that's really cool about this year was each season or each stage, the meta has changed. And, this meta for stage 4, because we had Shinobi going to testing grounds, now put into live. Shinobi has been played much more in this stage, but we'll see what happens for the championship finals if there are any more other changes happening.
Yeah, and on the note of Shinobi, we do have a live patch that's going to be going up on the 27th for Shinobi. So Shinobi went from testing ground, we just got him in live, and now we're taking some time to nerf based on overperformance.
Ótimo.
Things that we've been seeing.
Vai nerfar o Shinobi.
Firstly, we're going to take the front/side dodge kick and make it punishable on a miss. We're going to reduce the window of opportunity to enter backflip so that Shinobi is not able to notice the opponent's actions and actively react in time to the backflip when necessary. Thirdly, nerf stamina cost of certain moves to make Shinobi a little slower on the combat output and introduce some moments where, you really need to think like whether it's worth spending that stamina. And lastly, nerfing the shooting stars so that Shinobis aren't comboing it into the front dodge kick. So hopefully that'll alleviate some of that overperformance that we were kind of talking about and seeing. But yeah, just wanted to get that housekeeping out of the way. The patch note article is going to go live on the 27th as well, so you'll be able to hop on over to the For
Dia
Honor
27
website
já vem
and
belo
check out
nerfzinho aí de
all of the
Shinobi.
changes in depth.
Graças a
Just
Deus.
so you can get a better lay of the land of what we're doing here. But yeah, no, thank you, Clarissa, so much for being here. It is always a pleasure to have you on, and it's always a pleasure to have the Dominion series. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks for having me. And just a small quick reminder for y'all to tune in to the championship finals so we can watch who will be crowned the For Honor champions of the Dominion Series 2021, plus exclusive rewards.
Woo,
It's going to be fun.
Stuff. Amazing, amazing. Thank you once again, Clarissa, for being here with us. Yeah, we're about to kick it over to this outro, Warrior. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere.
Outro é ótimo nome para conteúdo. Outro. Vamos ver o que é o outro.
What an amazing show we had. Let's go over a little bit of everything we just covered. We have the Pirate Hero. We have a new group, the Outlanders. We are coming back for year 6. We covered alternate material improvements. We covered the Dominion series. There's so much content to go through. Super excited. Can't wait to share all of this with you when starting with the Pirate launching on the 27th. Coming up, we've got even more stuff. So we've got the For Honor 5th anniversary celebration and Valentine's Day celebration coming up on February 10th to February 17th. Got a little surprise if you signed in during that time period, so don't forget to come and join us during that time. We've got some more events coming up. We've got the Covenant Games, Horko's Masquerade, which is going to run from February 17th to February 24th. Amazing stuff.
Nada.
Huh?
I was excited.
Oh, yeah, dude. No, amazing. We've got the Black Friars for Post event running from March 3rd to March 10th. And then we've got some even more exciting stuff on that note, Josh, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, so who likes For Honor music? I know a lot of you do. I've seen a lot of threads just asking, hey, how can we find some of the For Honor music specifically for the Year of the Covenant's Year 5? And I'm pleased to announce that we have that for you now. The amazing composer Luc St. Pierre has an album out of the For Honor music, and you can get this on every music streaming platform that you can find. So you got Spotify,
legal.
YouTube Music,
Tem
Tidal.
álbum do
If
For
you want
Honor
to
agora no
use the music
Spotify.
in an Instagram reel or on TikTok, if that's what you want to do, we will have that available at a later date. I'm a massive music fan. I'm a musician myself, so I definitely appreciate when we kind of get to do something like this, kind of give the music back and kind of be like, hey, listen to it while you're, I don't know, working out or something. I don't know, but just use it. I love this. This is awesome. Also, we have a challenge, Warrior Challenge. The faction with the most matches completed of any type. Again, this can be Dominion, this can be duels, this can be literally any match type. This runs from January 24th. And yeah, and we got some, is that an illustrious outfit?
Emotezinho de graça.
It is. It's Soulless Sailor. Ooh, it's fun stuff.
I'm loving the Rattle Me Bones vibe.
Soulless Sailor for 20,000 steel.
That looks awesome. I love the glowing eyes. It's always a staple. But also, Land Ho! If you want to be a warrior and spot out that hot treasure on the other end of the map, you can do that with the emote. This runs for 5,000 steel. I like it a lot.
Galera, não esquece de deixar o like.
There you have it, folks. That is our show.
Não tem like
New
no
Hero
meu vídeo aí, ajuda aí,
coming out January 27th next week. We are super excited. Definitely go ahead.
Mais de 200 pessoas estavam vendo e não tem nem 200
time in with the
likes.
Hero. There will be a 2-week exclusivity period before the Hero is available in Steel. But definitely share your thoughts once you get the Hero. Year 6 is happening. So much stuff is going on. We have tons of articles over on our website. You can go ahead and check out to get even more details. Again, thank you all for joining us today, and we will catch you in the next den. See you
later.
Beleza, acabou a transmissão deles. Vai passar o trailer de novo agora. Eu vou abaixar. E vamos lá. Enquanto tá a transmissão ao vivo, eu não consigo voltar, tá? Aí vai mostrar os trajezinhos, né? Eu tenho que esperar acabar a transmissão, ela vai acabar, aí eu vou mostrar pra vocês lá, tá? O novo personagem de novo, vou comentar. Algumas coisas, alguns pontos interessantes da live, né? Uma retrospectiva pra quem chegou depois, ou às vezes... Na hora eu não sei se eu falei, porque eu também tô vendo ao vivo com vocês. Então eu tenho que ver, processar e falar. Às vezes eu vejo o processo e não falo. E eu esqueço de passar informação, porque eu, assim como vocês, sou fã. Talvez até mais fã do que muitos, afinal eu já tô, né? 5 anos nessa longa estrada da vida de For Honor. Então, vamos lá, né? Consideração. Esse emote aqui que apareceu que tava free, de graça. Esse aqui. Agora ver se vai estar de graça. Não sei, né? Tava escrito lá. Só um segundinho. Que agora ele vai dar o Thanks for Watching. Aí eu vou ter que sair da Twitch e vou lá no YouTube. Porque é no YouTube que eu consigo... Então só um minuto, tá? Opa. Só um minutinho, tela fechada aí, tá? Só enquanto eu vou lá no YouTube, porque pela Twitch aqui não demora pra caralho. Não consigo ficar voltando. Lá no YouTube eu consigo. Ao menos que eu... Será que eles estão transmitindo no YouTube? Tá, então. Ótimo. Já vou arrumar a tela aqui. E agora... Já vou abrir para vocês. Ótimo. Certo. Então vamos lá, galera. Primeiro, para quem não sabe, o novo personagem, tá? Vou deixar aqui no trailer dele. Cadê o trailer dele? Aqui. O novo personagem, ele é um personagem de... não é de nenhuma facção, tá? Ele não é viking, ele não é samurai, ele não é cavaleiro e não é Wulin. Embora quem acompanha o canal viu que eu fiz um vídeo falando do possível novo, que é possível novo herói, uma pirata Wulin, inspirada na Madame, né? Madame Xinxi, né? Xinxin, sei lá essa pronúncia. Mas eu coloquei lá. E no final é exatamente o que eu falei que seria. Créditos pro meu querido amigo Maicão, ele que matou a charada, tá? Só que ela não é Wulin, mas é uma pirata chinesa, tá ligado? Então, tipo, né? Whatever. Então, agora, no ano 6 de For Honor, já foi anunciado um novo ano, virá mais 2 novos personagens. Esses personagens, eles não serão de nenhuma das 4 facções existentes. Agora, essa nova facção, que não é uma facção, são Outlanders, são estrangeiros, uma galera de longe que não está envolvida nas guerras de Riftmore, de Covenant, com Quimera, com nada. Esses caras vêm de fora e é uma pegada totalmente diferente pro novo ano, tá? Então é isso. Eles são uma facção? Não, porque eles não têm relação. Então o próximo herói, ele pode ser qualquer coisa. Ele pode ser um árabe, ele pode ser um espartano, ele pode ser um ciborgue do futuro, ele pode ser qualquer coisa, entendeu? Então é isso, tá? Esse é o resumo do novo personagem, certo? Vou deixar no movie list dele aqui, passando. Peraí, deixa ela passando aqui, deixar baixinho. Que aí eu vou falando em cima. Se tiver muito alto, vocês me falam, tá? Então, movie list dele, tá? Primeira coisa, pelo amor de Deus, não tem... ele tem uma pistola, galera. Isso é visual. Essa pistola faz a mesma coisa que qualquer escudo faz, que o soco do centurião faz. A pistola é visual. Não vai snipar ninguém, não vai atirar à distância, não vai nada. Então, primeiro, para com essa porra, pelo amor de Deus. A pistola é um bash, ponto, tá? É um bash, como qualquer outro. Então, ele tem um movie list aqui do personagem. Aparentemente, depois de qualquer golpe, ele pode dar apertar o guard break, ele dá um tiro de pistola que garante um daninho, dá um daninho ali. Mesma coisa de um soco do centurião, por exemplo, né? Ou, por exemplo, que o soco do centurião ele só dá dano quando tá com fit, né? Mas enfim, não é nada de outro mundo, tá? O que me incomoda um pouco é o tal do cancelar os recovers no dodge. Isso me incomoda um pouco, mas vamos ver como funciona, tá? Vamos ver como funciona. Eu vou adiantar aqui pros movimentos do personagem, que foi essa parte que a gente ficou com, que eu tô falando aqui agora. Eu vou pegar o acesso do personagem, vou testar, vamos ver. A princípio, não dá pra falar tá apelão, não tá apelão, porque o jogo, pra quem entende, né, as mecânicas do jogo, você vê, cara, como vai ficar hitbox, é muito importante. Como vai ficar as animações, assim, olhando, parece que tá tudo meio lento. Então, que nem o Kyoshin, quando eu vi, assim, que lançou, eu falei, nossa, ele é lentão, né? Mas ele tem um mix-up sólido. Então, aparentemente, cara, não achei nada absurdo, tá? A princípio, todo mundo vai achar o personagem forte, é normal. Todo mundo vai achar, galera. É padrão. Só que existe personagem que você não conhece ainda, você acha forte. E existe personagem que tá além, tá? Que é um personagem que tá além, tipo Shinobi. Shinobi, ele dá um chute, ele consegue dar bash em 2 personagens ao mesmo tempo, com a merda de um chute de 500 ms, saca? Shinobi tem iframe até, até na família dele. O cara tá passando dentro da sua arma e não tá tomando dano. Então isso é ruim, isso é prejudicial. Agora, o personagem tem várias possibilidades de golpe. Eu acho ok. Eu acho que todo personagem tem que ter várias opções de golpe. Agora eu acho ruim quando você não consegue punir o personagem se você faz um read do que ele vai fazer, né? Então, esse é o novo personagem, não dá tiro de sniper, não tem nada. Os feats dele, olhando a princípio, sempre parece meio absurdo. Mas se for parar pra analisar dano, você tem a flecha lá, a flecha do Shugoki. É um tiro aquilo, velho. E dá bastante dano. E tem situações que você consegue garantir, né? A flechada e tal. Então, eu não sei, não achei tão roubado, não. Eu acho meio aquele tiro que ricocheteia 3 vezes para um terceiro feat, né? Se ele dá 40 de dano e pega em 3 caras, cara, 40 de dano em 3 caras é muita coisa. Vamos ver como funciona, né? Vamos ver como funciona. Beleza? Então, é isso. Quem quiser discutir, conversar sobre tudo, quem me acompanha diariamente lá na Twitch sabe, eu faço lives lá. Lá a gente vai discutir, debater bastante. Inclusive eu vou fechar essa live aqui. E como já faço de costume, eu vou abrir a live lá pra gente trocar ideia, interagir um pouquinho. Então, quem não me segue, corre lá. twitch.tv/lenhadorgameplay. Corre lá. Tô indo lá daqui a pouco, certo? Como sempre, eu gosto de fechar o vídeo da transmissão aqui para não ficar muito longo, né? É um vídeo do YouTube. Então, por favor, deixem o like no vídeo. Se você está vendo essa transmissão depois, pode comentar aí à vontade, tá? E é isso. Acredito que eu já vou estar com acesso antecipado do personagem, porque a Ubisoft parou de dar acesso antecipado para os desenvolvedores de conteúdo, por quê? Muito vazamento. Então ela só dá o acesso depois que ela faz o anúncio. Fez o anúncio, ela dá Então, eu provavelmente já vou estar com o personagem, eu não vou poder falar nada dele, só vou falar a hora que eu puder. Mas quem acompanha sabe, sempre 1 ou 2 dias antes de lançar o personagem já sai tudo no meu canal. Já tutorial de como jogar, vídeo de duelo, vídeo de domínio, tudo, certo? Então é isso, galera. Obrigado pela presença de todos vocês. Me segue lá na Twitch, vamos lá, agora, twitch.tv/lenhadorgameplay. Já entra aí, ó, coloca no computador, no seu celular. Vou fechar essa live aqui agora e tô indo pra lá, certo? Obrigado a todos vocês pela presença. Um abraço, meus queridos, e ó, até daqui a pouco.